right, here we are with another Woods Report. Here's our review of the View today.
Okay.
Quick view of the review.
Just a little snapshot.
All right, here
of
we
it.
go. So, what did they talk about today?
I just jotted down a few things they talked about. I know
Okay.
they talked about the whole thing about the Respect for Marriage Bill Act. A lot of people have been complaining and talking about since that whole abortion thing has been overturned.
They looking at it.
They looking at other stuff.
Well, they
And
trying to kick everything back to the state and not have it on the federal
have it
level.
on the federal.
Okay.
So it's almost like let the state deal with it. Let
Okay.
the state deal with it.
Okay.
And each state is. People are still like complaining. Why you even got to touch it?
Right.
Why you got to even go there?
Right.
So they talked about the respect for the marriage bill, the
Okay.
act, and I think one of the senators got up, and Jim Jordan is his name. He's Republican, and made his comment about they need to revisit this act and other things.
Okay.
And another senator, Democratic senator, he says we need to not touch this. He said years he and his partner. If he's sick in the hospital, his partner can't come and be a part of that. He can't.
Right.
It's a lot of things that people don't think about when you're not married. And Joy did make a comment. She said Joy's dated her. She was with.
She was with him
for
Steve,
years. She said it was actually one of those arguments that made her decide to get married.
See?
When her friend, her gay friend, for years dated her significant other, and
Something happened to her.
Something happened to her. She couldn't go see
couldn't
her.
Go. And people don't realize too, it's not so much about this country, but other countries recognize if you're married in your own country.
Yeah.
So like if you're traveling or something, and then there's an accident or something, and you're not married in your own country, a lot of times other countries will say, well, you're not married.
Right.
So they, even though in their country might be different, they look at what your laws are in your country.
Yeah.
When they're treating you medically in another country. A lot of people don't realize that.
Wow.
So that was another reason why a lot of people who were gay wanted to have marriage be seen as legal in this country. So when they travel abroad and different stuff like that.
But like when you dealing with state to state, though.
See, here's the thing: when they keep
One
running
state says you okay, and the other one you not.
Every time I think of state to state, I'm sorry, I think of Jim Crow laws. I keep going back to Jim Crow laws.
And how it was in the north, how it was in
or
the
just
south.
any, depending on where you crossed on the border, depending on what happened. Do we really want that?
We're going backwards. Don't you guys
We're
think
going
something in our
backwards.
history?
Soon it's gonna be okay. So if your state wants certain people to drink from a certain fountain, it's okay. Now if they go to the other state, I'm not even saying black people. See, it's not gonna be black people no more. It's always a new group,
Right.
that everybody goes after. So it'll be, if you one-eyed person, no one-eyed people, because we got the same fountain.
Right, you can't come to this.
So if you come to this
so
state,
you can't live in this community.
Right.
If you got one leg.
if you got one leg, only in this state you can do this, but
now
in
in
this
another
state,
state,
which is ridiculous.
so state to state can be a problem for certain things.
And I understand it for some things. Now I do agree with state to state, and this is controversial. I do agree with state to state for gun laws, because I feel
'cause if
like
you're traveling,
or just it depends
I don't want
on.
to be arrested in one state
Right.
where my state I came from. I'm okay to conceal and
But
carry.
I feel like guns are different, because if you live like in North
Rural
Carolina
areas, or
that's not the same as somebody who lives like in New York or something. So I don't know. I just think that's
think
different.
about truck drivers.
Oh,
think
well,
about
that's
people
true.
who go across line to line, and they carry their guns sometimes to protect themselves.
But you
'Cause
gotta
there's
have a
dangerous-
license in
No,
those
I'm
states.
saying it's almost like, I guess too, they do it for selling real estate.
It's the same thing.
You got to have a real estate license
You have to have
in every state that you work in.
I agree with law. If you practicing law in one state is not the
But
same. as
isn't there
practicing law.
something on the government level? If you practice law and get this kind of license, if you practice
like
this,
an umbrella?
yeah, it covers you in any state you go to.
I'm thinking human rights. So that's probably why I think that's why anything that's like a basic human right, I feel like, why are you kicking it back to the state?
Yeah.
So that goes back to the unborn, is the right of the child, all that. It's so much stuff, y'all. It's ridiculous. But I do understand the kickback on both sides. I understand the Democrats saying what's next? You did this, so
Right.
now let's protect everything now because we don't know what y'all gonna do.
Now Whoopi had made a
and
comment.
they dropped the ball on abortion. They should have been. They've had.
That's what the Republican
They
lady on
had
at the
everybody.
table.
They
Yes.
had Obama. They had Clinton. They had everything.
And
They had
that was
plenty
her
of time.
argument. You're good at it.
Yes.
That was her argument as a Republican. She said you had Democratic presidents in place that could have made things happen, and
Exactly.
they didn't. Well, Whoopi jumped in and said they didn't allow them to. They fought them, and I said, so I don't know. That's their view.
Yeah.
But one thing she did say,
Well, I
she
guess
said,
that's why it's the view.
it's
huh?
called the view. The view can be good or bad or
Okay.
right or wrong.
All right.
But one of the things she did say, and she was being funny with this is a bite me in the butt thing, because Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court, he's the one that's thinking that we should reconsider the right to contraceptive, the right to same-sex intimacy,
What
the
about
right to...
what about married to
She
a
said
different race?
interracial can come back and kick him in the butt, because back in the day, black men couldn't marry a white woman,
That's
or
why
white
you
man
would-
marry a black woman.
That's why I think, for some reason, I
Be
think
careful with that.
I think his head is stuck somewhere else.
I don't know.
Because for you to be married to somebody of the different race,
Yeah, you would be kind of leave
I
those
would
laws
think
alone.
you would be more progressive
yeah,
than
that's
other
true.
people.
Because if you think about it, Supreme Court, Clarence, there was a time you could not marry the woman you're with.
That's why I don't like him.
So laws,
He's an idiot to me.
Don't go back to
And
100 years.
It has nothing to do with party, because there's some Republicans who believe in same-sex marriage, or some of like Cheney, her sister's gay,
Right.
so of course she's gonna be like, okay, well I'm for it because it's personal.
Right.
So you would think that nut job, it's personal for him. So
Well,
he would say everything else, don't touch marriage, just leave it alone.
That was one of the...
I'm already outside of what most people would think is okay.
Right.
Let's just leave it alone.
It's becoming normal now.
Oh, my goodness.
It's all so many mixture of races, ethnicities. But Joy did say kind of like what you said. She said Republicans it seems like they don't agree with something until it hits home.
Exactly. But Democrats on the outside. See, we always do both sides,
both
which I love.
sides, yeah.
But Democrats, all of a sudden, these are issues because you was going to lose the race. That's why Sleepy Joe was not going to win the next election. We all know that. My mother loves Joe Biden. Every time I talk about Joe Biden, she loves Joe Biden. I said, "Why you love Joe Biden?" "Oh, he's a sweet old man." Okay, he's a sweet old man.
Old man.
But we're talking about president of the United States. So if you think for 1 minute he was going to win. No, he barely won. The last one, he won because people hated Trump.
They really wanted Trump out. Yeah.
It had nothing to do with Joe Biden. They hated Trump. So now the Democrats have to have something for people to get behind. Oh, you're going to take away this right. Oh, next you're going to have us all going back to 1920. So they trying to rally up the vote. I don't blame them, because that's the only way you're going to win.
Right. You got to kind of think on the
Exactly.
the examples of ways to move forward
Exactly.
with your party. So each party going to be doing their thing.
Yes.
Even independent party may start jumping in.
Okay.
It may even become a new party.
Right.
That people go,
Well,
yeah.
Trump is probably going to create a new party.
You think?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
He has still such a good following. He won't need to.
all right.
Okay.
He even talked about today at his ex-wife's funeral. Somebody asked him something. He threw some kind of shade in there, a date. Y'all know what I'm talking about him running or something. I'm like,
At his
you
wife's
can't even
funeral.
go to your ex-wife's funeral.
Can we just keep it on somebody else other than you?
No, it had to be about him.
It'd be
so.
at your own funeral.
Yeah.
Still about you. I'm
Right.
just kidding.
That was the only funeral I've seen him go to. Has he been to anybody else's
You
funeral?
know what? He would be talked about if he didn't.
No, I'm
he
saying,
actually had to go to that
seen
one.
him at anybody else's funeral?
No.
All right.
But he had
so-
to go to a family member or an
Exactly.
ex-wife.
Yeah.
Topic 2. You said you got some insight on this because
Oh, okay. So off of
was
this
show-
topic,
they-
let's move to their second topic.
they was showing Sesame Street character
Oh, yeah.
Rosita. I'm so behind on the times.
Okay.
because I'm Big Bird moment.
Kelly?
I'm old school. So the video showed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny because they showed a number of clips with this Rosita
Well, of course,
character.
everybody gonna come out of the closet now that Rosita.
And Rosita was shunning the kids of color, the little black girl.
and she got the name.
And
And she got the nerve to be named Rosita.
And I was like, oh my God. And Joy was saying, didn't she have an excuse? Didn't the Rosita character have an excuse that she couldn't see them? And
so she don't never see black people.
And Sonny said, well, that was funny because she saw this other little girl that was a different girl, same height, same size. She hugged her and kept on walking with the other two little black kids. And I said, you know Whoopi, because she works with the whole Sesame Street.
Yeah.
She was on this like white on right.
Whoopi was on Sesame Street.
She said, something gonna be done about this.
Okay.
She said, you guys, because she had their guest speaker, Lindsey Granger, they made a comment, and Whoopi said, you don't have to worry. They own this.
Okay.
And one of George said, they need to fire that Rosita person. Before you fire her, Whoopi said they need to know why they're being fired.
Right.
But they're definitely a lot of places, companies. You notice organizations they always mention more diversity, teachings, and inclusive.
Well, here's the thing.
Training. Okay.
Remember, you don't sometimes. And here's the thing about it. I'm gonna take it. I'll still talk about this, but I feel like it goes in this same direction.
No, okay. Rabbit hole.
Not a rabbit hole, but it's kind of on the same line.
Okay.
A lot of times when you black, you don't know. Like if somebody, because remember we did, remember we was that Zoom where you did Seinfeld trivia. It was something you did.
I joined.
It was something.
It was a group.
And they never called us or never called on us. Or remember, I ain't gonna say the name of it. It was only black people in the room. And remember another thing, I'm not gonna say the name of the organization.
Okay.
But they had their convention and it was on Zoom. And as people was coming in, remember the hostess was welcoming everybody. Never welcomed black people. And some of the black people
wasn't showing just our name in Zoom. We had our
face. And some people, and I thought to myself, is it just me or am I? And other black people said it. Remember the other black, and they said, did y'all notice this person never welcomed, as people was coming in the room, welcome Helen, welcome Joe.
I think a lot of people of color that used to that, right?
And black people was like, you mean to tell me not one, it was some of us on there, you ain't welcome one of us. So, but then you don't know.
You don't know.
Was it she? But then she didn't welcome. Did she just not welcome everybody?
It was that moment, and then they started showing clippings of and I don't know if it's the same person that wears that uniform because that outfit because that changes. But they show.
When are you going back to Rosita?
No, because in the situation where they were saying I didn't see them, I didn't see
them.
So there's always excuses, but you don't know. But it was a consistency, like you said. That lady did it to everyone that came in there.
Was it the same?
So you gotta flag them on that.
Was it the same Rosita?
That's it.
But because if it wasn't the
Whoopi
same,
made a good point. You almost want it to be the same Rosita. Because that means how many other employees wearing that Rosita outfit shuns the little black kids.
Or is it something about Rosita? As soon as you put the Rosita outfit on, do black kids beat up Rosita or something?
They love. Kim, look at the video.
Why is all Rositas? They don't want to say nothing to black kids.
You know what? You gotta look at the video. Kim, when you saw the little black boy doing that, and he looked like,
and he just
why Rosita passed me by? She didn't have Kim. They look sad.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing.
And people get upset when they kids is
look. I understand. I play two parts.
As an adult, we can deal with that, but our kids.
But I play.
Shutting my little black boy.
But I play two parts of it.
Go ahead.
Our generation, all those characters was mean and nice. It was you didn't depend on what you got. Especially the Santa Claus. You can get a nice Santa Claus, or you can get a mean Santa Claus that didn't want to be there. Christmas. You shoot your eye out. Ha ha. Ho ho ho.
And put his foot on the board.
He got a mean Santa Claus. And you get a drunk Santa Claus. You get a scary clown.
Well, be consistent.
No clown. If you get a clown to come to your party, you can get a racist clown. He was just there.
Homie the clown.
You get Homie the clown. So I don't know. I'm torn between this.
But it just shows. If you see the videos on The View,
is it
every kid he went by?
Is it obvious though?
It was obvious because
okay.
he hugged a little Asian girl
right next to her,
and then went by these two little black kids and kept on walking.
No, but hold on. Did he hug the Asian girl, bypass the black kids, and then hug another race of kid right there?
No. He
came
up to they were standing by each other. Little Asian girl. I think she was Asian. She could have been less Latino.
Right.
Or people of color still.
Right.
But she was a little lighter than the black kids.
Right.
And now she was by herself, and then the 2 kids was next to her.
But then after
you go down and hug like this,
right?
Meaning you are coming down to their level.
Yeah, but did he finish? No. When he finished hugging, or she, whoever's in outfit, when they finished hugging that other child, did they stop and go on to something else, or did they keep hugging kids? See, that's what I'm saying. If they stop, how do we know he was done or she was done with all the hugging? Because I'm not going to hug 150,000 kids. Somebody got to be the last one.
Because there was another scene where Rosita's stomach pushed this little black girl and knocked her down.
Did she? But how do we know she knew she pushed the black girl down?
That was me.
But how do we know? She got a big outfit on.
You're not taking up for Rosita.
I'm just saying.
You caught her in 4 episodes. Walking by the black girls.
But is it the same?
But did you say somebody had filmed that? They filmed that.
They all filmed. Well, Kelly. That's what brought this all to light.
Right.
Kelly from Destiny's Child. It was her child that got shown, and so she was on film saying it. So. Nobody would be talking about this if it wasn't Kelly.
I'm glad Kelly
from
brought
Destiny's
this to
Child.
light. Now, would they have done that if that was Beyonce's kid and they knew it?
If
I think Kelly,
what's his name's kids?
I think Kelly was mad because she knew if that was Beyonce's daughter, they would have hugged her.
Them.
But and for them to shun hers, they was like saying, not only do we not recognize the kid, we don't even recognize you.
You know what? It's kind of like what Oprah said years ago on her show when she had those white supremacists on her show.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Don't treat me different." Because I'm Oprah.
Right.
She said,
everybody.
If you're going to be against black people, I understand if you shun me too.
Yeah.
So, shun all the kids.
I just hate the fact that now it's going to go I think at Disney World, they don't do that anymore. It's going to take away, no characters is going to walk around anymore. Because people going to be like, well, you didn't hug that kid and you hugged this kid. And so now they're going to do I think Disney World, you have to stand in line to get a picture and hug them. And they hug you see what I'm saying? That's what your job is, just to stand there.
They were parading. So as a parade, you kind of I can see sometime when you are walking by as an entertainer or whatever, you may bump, slap hands and stop for a few.
Yeah.
It's nothing on the ones that they didn't get because they did it quickly. But that Rosita character had a habit of doing that.
Is it other characters?
We're gonna talk about this.
Is it other characers or just Rosita?
Rosita.
See, what is it with Rosita?
That's what everybody on The View was saying. What's going on with Rosita? I don't like that. But
unless it's the same person.
I don't know.
Or maybe the qualifications is different for Rosita. They just get anybody.
Believe you me.
Like if you want to go and you want to be Big Bird, you gotta have experience. Maybe the Big Birds aren't racist because they got years and years of experience of working with kids. And Rosita gets whoever come off the street.
I don't know.
You gonna play Rosita?
Because I don't even know that character. That's a Sesame Street character.
You guys know the new character.
But did you know? I don't think a lot of people know this. The history of Sesame Street. Do you know the history of Sesame Street? You guys can Google this. The history of Sesame Street was for minority kids. Did you know that?
No.
To teach them English and teach them as a second language.
Oh my goodness.
The history
and they do teach.
Google the history of Sesame Street and why it came about.
That's why Movie was so upset.
The creation of Sesame Street was for minority kids.
That's why.
Go back to the old ones, y'all. Look at the old ones. Look at the people in the neighborhood. Look at the neighborhood. They was pushing that. Remember all the neighborhood? It was mixed. And it was everybody kind of living together, all races,
like in the urban
and then
environment.
The puppets, Muppets, or whatever they were, they represented color. And then English was taught as a second language. So a lot of times kids would learn English by watching Sesame Street.
Rosita a Spanish character?
That's new though. That's all them characters is new.
Oh, I never heard of this one.
What happened is a lot of times they've gotten away from their original reason why they were created was because of minority kids. So if anything, it's making people go back to look at the history of Sesame Street and why it was created.
If that's what you're doing. I know I'm glad that Kelly brought, if that's put this out there to talk about it. They did talk about it on The View, but I'm glad that Whoopi is connected with the Sesame Street group. So she definitely has first. She can connect with them directly. Of course, they're gonna clear this up. They even said that. We are not. We are definitely not in approval.
I just don't want them to go overboard. You know how sometimes when you call,
it shuts it all down.
Either that or go overboard with the recognizing the black kids now, because now it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like
they give all of us an award.
I hate. That's what I'm saying.
For movies that are not even that good.
I hate with our country is that once somebody says something, then like you said, Academy Award. Oh, there's nobody black. Oh, so then the next year everybody nominated is black.
Thank you.
The movie is black. The host is black. The singing is black. The directing is black. The producing is black.
We don't need handouts.
Everybody's black.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So then you feel like I know I would if I win. Why can't I win against, Tom Cruise or something?
A tough group.
Why it gotta be me, Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington, Idris Elba, and Will Smith before he smacked everybody?
Right.
Why we gotta be all the ones nominated and one white guy, and then all of us, and then I win?
It's funny you said, rabbit hole. It's funny you said Will Smith, because, I even noticed this with the game shows. You guys notice? Most of the game shows are all black hosts.
Yeah.
Family Feud, Pyramid, $1,000 Pyramid. What's his name that from Blackish?
They just overboard it.
And what's his name for Funny? You said that.
All
of those hosts are black.
And I'm gonna say the same thing again. This is the View. This is our review of The View, and we're giving our view. And I'm gonna be controversial, and I'm gonna say it. Sorry. It's the same thing with gay marriage and stuff.
What about
it's like you have everything
with the show.
Everybody got to be gay.
Right.
It could be a show has. What do we even care
if that person
about a person's sexuality?
Yeah,
but they somehow got to squeeze in there that the person is
doctors, and the person over the hospital is, and then another the housekeeper of the hospital is.
Excuse me, John. I have your report. It could be like you said, hospital. Excuse me, John. I have your report for tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Jim. Oh, no problem. I got to get home to my significant other. I don't care about him getting home to his significant other.
Right.
Just bring the report and drop it off.
I think it's kind of going what you're saying. They
overkill.
They overkill it because they definitely want to make sure that everybody is. Okay? Are you okay? Everybody's okay. You're not complaining. Okay, you okay?
We used to laugh at.
You got a part.
We used to laugh at Seinfeld because my favorite show is Seinfeld. It still is. But we used to always say, "Ain't no black people in Seinfeld." So then, before they really started making like real characters, they would throw in black people. It'd be a black person.
One guy that ran, the track runner.
Well, no, that's when they actually had a character. This is early on, before they would make black people characters. Okay. You could see they'll have a black person walking behind them while they walking down the street. And I'm like, come on, y'all, don't overkill it.
No.
And even if you do that, in New York, it's not one black person walk down the street. It's New York.
It's so much diversity.
So it's all kind of people walking down the street.
All kinds of folks.
So that's what I get it. Don't overkill.
You're right.
All right, so they talked about Rosita.
And then one of the last things they talked about, when they have guests on, of course they're going to have my man Ice-T, because,
Ice-T?
Yeah, Ice-T and his friend Spike. I guess Ice-T have a book called Split Decision.
Oh, let me say. Go ahead.
And, of course, Ice-T and his friend Spike, back in the young days, they hustled. They were some hustlers. They robbed. They did. And Ice-T was like, I never got caught. He was
doing everything.
They robbed, jewelry stores. I don't know if they did banks, but they was just street hustlers. And he did well with it because he never got caught. But he got the gig doing the rap, and that kind of pulled him away from that lifestyle, which was good because it showed him another way of making money in a legal way,
Right, all of them.
And if you think about it, any of them that were making money illegal, if you get a good a gig as an actor or a rapper or artist in general, and you start seeing the big bucks coming in, you're like, okay, I could do this because this is legal.
Right.
I'm not putting myself in jeopardy or in harm's way, getting shot or getting arrested, but his friend Spike was about to was turning over the new leaf with him as well.
Now
he tried one more robbery.
Oh,
and
really?
that went wrong.
And he went to jail?
And he supplied the guns for it. They did a jewelry store or something, and somebody got shot and died.
And they all got to go.
And he had to
How long did he go to?
I think 20-some years. 20 years.
Wow.
So he's out now.
He just got out.
I don't know if he just got out, but he's out now. That book is about their life story and their experiences, I guess, because they were friends.
Are they gonna do a movie?
I don't know. That would be a good movie. And they was just asking Ice-T. One thing he said, Ice-T, that I had to write down. They were asking him about, because he did the lifestyle, how does he talk to people today and guys and young kids? Because he said he knows when he's sitting with some kids, with some young guys, he's been there. He been there, done that.
So he know how to talk to them.
He kind of know where they're going and how they feel by the way they're reacting. But one thing he said, everybody in this room, and he talked about the audience there, is one decision away from destroying their life.
Yep.
One decision.
And a lot of guys don't realize that.
All of y'all sitting in the audience, you could be driving in a car, your friend is drunk, you hit somebody. A decision is changing now. You killed somebody because of DUI or something.
See?
He said, I can throw this mug at the audience and hurt somebody. Or
somebody died.
That one decision that I did made, it changed my life. And so destroying your life, away from destroying your life. So he said, get in the car. He was saying, not get in the car. He said, his mom said, you may know how much money you have, but you don't know how much time you have. Your time is the most valuable thing. So think about every decision you make. Going forward is difficult. Going backwards is instantaneous. So he shared some good light.
That's true, because if you think about it, just the law of movement.
Yeah.
When you moving against a current or something, it's hard because you gotta press.
Yeah.
You gotta press.
And you're going in a direction you've never gone before.
Yeah, you're going in a direction you've never gone or you've never seen it. It's uncharted territory.
Yeah.
But pushing anything you push back,
it's familiar. It's easy.
And it's easier for your body also to go back to if something pushes you back.
So it makes you think. I mean, I'm glad that Ice-T, I watch him on
That's
SVU.
true.
I love his character. He said he laughs. He said, I'm playing a cop. Running from cops. Trying to hide
and
from
now,
cops.
He used to have Cop Killer.
Cop Killer, yeah. And he said, look at this big turnaround for me. I'm playing a cop in a major TV show.
Have you seen his daughter?
No.
She looked just like him.
Does she?
And they be clowning her.
They used to have a reality TV show.
They be clowning her.
Mama watched it.
Because how they used to clown Beyonce's daughter. About how she looked like Jay-Z.
Oh.
That's how they clown.
Because she looked like her dad.
I don't think she's ugly. I didn't think Beyonce's daughter was ugly. I just think they look like their dad. They look like
they're a lighter version of their dad.
They look like their dad, but a cuter version, a female version.
What's her name? Look like Bobby
Yeah,
Brown?
and Whitney, a mixture. But his daughter, if you look at his daughter,
like he spit her out.
She looked like a white iced tea.
Well, he ain't that close to darkness, so, because
But she whiter than her mother.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This somehow you see some mixed kids.
Now, that was
their mother is white and they whiter than their mom.
That was a couple that when they had their reality show for that little bit.
You watched it?
I watched it a little bit. Mama got to
Ice-T and
connect
Coco.
with them, Coco. So, she's a cool woman.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be cool to be with this guy, and I'm sure a lot of women who are with entertainers like this.
This is his friend. He's looking out for him. He probably just got out or been out a little bit.
Yeah, he said it was hard meeting his daughter at 30-something, his grandkids.
Wow. A lot of people
but
don't realize that.
he said, and
prison
think
take
about
a lot
it,
away from
he
you.
and I could have had different lives.
Different lives.
Because we did the same thing. I just chose to do it again and got caught.
And I know some people who were minutes away from their life. I'm not even going to say no names, but somebody that I know, they was leaving somebody's house, and right after they left that person's house, the feds came in.
Ooh, and they could have been
and everybody in there went down.
Oh, and even if
that person, had he not left 5 minutes earlier, he would have been caught up in that.
Wow, you said you was. I think you mentioned that in one of our tapings, our recordings. You were at someone's house.
Oh, I had so many stories. It's like, I know
Why
God
you
looking
here?
out for me.
Why you here?
Yeah, God looking out for me.
Woo.
We all been in situations where or even in accidents. Remember, we was chasing, that one guy hit this person's car, and we was chasing him.
I don't know what made us think that
We was
that.
chasing him, like on a full
Vigilantes.
speed chase.
Because we looked at the lady, we saw him hit. He drove by. He just ran
Ran
her
into her
car
car.
like they was drag strip
And
racing.
she was like, and then
We
we
got you.
got you, acting like we was Joe
When he had-
Public.
well, it was nighttime.
We was going down streets and everything.
When kids playing, was like,
Kids
"Ooh, we got to be
playing
careful. We
outside.
could hit these
We
kids trying to
coulda
follow
hit
this man."
Kids
And he
on
knew
the
we was
street.
following him after a while because he went through a dark alley and turned into a driveway.
What is wrong with us?
And we turned our lights
He
off.
coulda turned around
and went
and-
slow.
He
Where
could have
he at?
turned
Where
around
he
and,
at,
and
Kim?
started killing us, shooting at
Yeah, he
us.
could have shot us.
So we was stupid back then. That was a
Yeah.
long time. That was over 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
We're not that dumb no
Yeah,
more.
but I just
Now if somebody hits somebody's car, I'm just going to be like,
call police for.
And we got phones now. This was before phones.
Film it.
This was before cell phones.
Oh,
so this
yeah,
was a
this
while
was.
ago.
And
We
we-
would just take a picture now.
We came back around and said something to the lady. Said, "Ma'am, if you want us to appear in court, we got you. We'll be your witnesses."
She was
we
scared.
we got their license plate.
She was scared.
We got the car
She
where
never-
he lived.
She never
She
showed
didn't
up.
show up.
She was
I think
scared.
they scared her.
She was scared.
We was ready to
Yeah, 'cause
testify.
there
And
was
of
some
course, the
hoodlums.
girl who owned the car, I wasn't in the car. That wasn't me. That
Yeah.
wasn't me. And it probably wasn't because it was her boyfriend.
Oh well, they was hoodlums.
We was ready.
But anyway, we got a million of those stories. Did they
Okay.
talk about anything else?
No, that was it. I think Ice-T and they were the last
Okay.
guest on the show.
All right, y'all. So that was today's review of The View, right?
Yep.
So we'll see y'all for the next one. And that was another Woods Report. See you later, y'all. Let's see. All right.
It's still